Hey, what's going on? It's been about a week since I worked on this project, so hopefully I remember what we're doing, but that's why I keep a to-do list. So I'm going to continue working on this rhyming dictionary I've been working on. I've got some good ideas for it moving forward with like getting like having a login for guests essentially, so like people can create they'll have the ability to log in, sign up and all that for like an actual, it's not really I guess SaaS platform, but for the ability to access the content. So that'll be fun to get into. I just finished a tutorial script on that, so it's fresh in my mind. I'm really excited for that one to come out. It's going to be a long video. But I have this project that we've been working on, which is just, right now it's super basic. We've got our words that share vowel sounds with compromise, and then we've got these three boxes plus definitions down at the bottom. So what I'd like to do though is we want to style the headers first to make them look more like headers. Right now they just kind of feel like text. So don't love that. Well, that's an easy fix. So we'll do that. And then I'd like to be able to leave the first syllable, so the last syllable, the top one, exposed at first, but collapsible. So we'll work on getting collapsible content. And then I think we'll get to being able to exclude homonyms. So I had a few issues doing that last week, so hopefully we can get it done this time. So why don't we just start with the headers then? So we're going to go to our slug page here, and I've got these search params. I don't think I'm going to use these, so I'm just going to get rid of these for now. And the reason I don't think I'm going to use them is because I don't think I'm going to be able to filter like I want to. There may come a time where I can, but right now it's just not in the cards. So let's take a look. We've got our H1. I'm fine with how that's styled. And then it's the H2 that I have a problem with. So, or I guess it's the H3. Yep, H3. So what I want to do is we'll go into our styles.css and come here. The font size is probably fine, but we might want to do font weight of 700 is probably too much. Can we do 400? That's normal. 600, and then what's 500? 600 seems to be fine. So that looks okay. And maybe the text should be a little bit larger, so we can put this as XL and then this is 2XL. Yeah. And so what we need again now is in this H3, we should probably put this into a div with a class name of flex. And just to say it explicitly, we're going to do flex row, and then we'll do, I think it's space or justify between, and then in here, I believe we have Lucid icons, or sorry, Lucid React installed here. We should, yep. And so square chevron down. Where do I have that now? Oh, here. Okay, so I have it for pronunciations already. So do I have comfortable somewhere? Because that'll be easier to see what I'm doing. There we go. So yes, we have these chevrons down. I don't really love the square, so maybe we'll do something different for this one here, which means if I do down, arrow down, I think this is going to be like an arrow with a stem, which is not exactly what I want. Arrow down. Yeah, I don't really want the stem. There's a lot of pollen up here right now, so I am feeling the allergies. All right, so not arrow down. down, book down, I guess chevron down should be fine. And let's just do as arrow down since I have that already included. Yeah, so that looks good. So let's do that one. Let's change it out for chevron down. And I believe the fill is the right color, so we should be fine. I'm going to double check that though. It looks like it is. So yeah, fill is current color, which is the violet. Perfect. Okay, so that's good. And so that's what it looks like when it's down. And so what we're going to need to do is get our syllables, or I guess syllable, in its own component. So first, let's go ahead and mark this off. We styled our headers. That was really easy, and there's a reason why I wanted to start with that, to get the energy going. So good, we have one success. We're good to go. We don't really need the terminal that big, and I believe these are already wrapped. Okay. Cool, so we're going to go to our front-end components and create a new TypeScript file. It'll be TSX, and it's going to be a syllable. We'll say syllable box. Add that, and we're going to export our... Let's go ahead and do const syllable box, not whatever that was. Not have it take anything yet. I do know that this is going to be use client. And then we're going to from this div on here. So all of this is what that component needs to be. So let's copy this and return that. So we're going to need our syllable, our length, our index, our target word, and that should be it. So we're actually just going to pass in the array and the index like this. That way I don't have to do too much different. So now though, we need our syllable. Syllable is going to be the type of vowel sounds, I think. Syllable. Vowel. Okay, so I have to remember what this type is. But regardless, we can get our... Let's do it this way. So we'll set props here. Do type props set equal to, we'll have syllable, which is going to be any for now. Array, which is going to be definitely an array of something, but I do think that we should just do a number and change this to be length. Dang it. Okay, array length, length, length. Okay, and then we can have, oh, so we don't need array, so we just need length of number, and then we'll change this to index and be number, and then target word, which will be a word, which we need to import. Word. All right, so this is index. Perfect. Oh, length minus index. All right, so what does syllable need to be? I guess it needs to be, yeah, it should be vowel. So let's go ahead and set syllable to vowel. I don't get vowel sounds though. But vowel should have value on it, which I think is what I'm looking for. So we should be able to do syllable value. And that can't be true anyway, so this will just check if there is a syllable. All right, so let's see what this does. See if it breaks everything. We're going to remove all of this and bring in our syllable box, which is going to need the syllable. It's going to need a key as well, which we will do as syllable.id. Then we'll have our length as array length. Index will be j. Target word will be target word. So here, syllable as vowel. Perfect. All right, so we save, we refresh. So this normally happens when there's a client component or a server component being used inside of a client component. But use client as well within it's right here. Sorry, right's here. So I'm not exactly sure why it's like that right now. So let's just try restarting real quick. Okay, but if I get rid of use client, everything's okay. Oh, is it because word cell is within here? It is. Okay. So what do we need to do then? So we need the client in order to set a, to have that interactability that I want to be able to show and hide things. Unless we were to just do it with CSS. Well, no, because I still need the is clicked. We need to get state at least. So that's not going to be a good option. So what do we need to do? Just curious here. So if I do, I've never tried this before, so I don't think this is going to work. But just making sure everything is, ooh, that's a problem. All right, so that just made an infinite loop, and that's not what I want. But I know that I can't use client here and then have our word cell here. And the problem that I'm going to run into is that I need, oh, why is that happening again? Okay, so all that's working again. So we have here that, oh, so we don't need chevron down here anymore. So I think I need to have the client component and then have it be able to take children. So I think we can leave this as it is. No, I don't think I have heard of that. I did see something about better auth being like someone having a plugin like that, but I have not worked with it at all or looked into it at all. So I'm not sure I would be a great person to ask about that. Okay, so syllable box will be, I think, the So I think this can just take children, which is going to be children node React node. I was hoping that you would just insert it, but that's fine. And then we can add children here. And then what we would do So we would be able to now use this in our page here, which would need children. So I think I have a map in here, don't I? I do. Okay, so that takes care of all my rhymes. Perfect. So what I would do then is I need to think this through a little bit more. So we're not going to include children right now. So what we need to be able to do is click on a parent element that lets its children element show after it's been clicked. So we need a client component that can then send. I've done this before, I think. Let me take a look real quick. New window. Move this over. Okay. Use client. And then I think I need to pass in the words. So what we can do is, because word cell, dang man, I made this very difficult on myself for some reason. All right, so we now have our syllable box in its own component. Everything works just fine except for our vowel sound. Interesting. So if I log my rhyme, I get a bunch of empty arrays, which means we have target word, which is of type word. Target word, word. So let's see, we have our log, target word. We do get the target word. And it's correct. So maybe I think, So why isn't target word here being passed down correctly? All right, so what we want to do is to be able to click on the chevron or the entire H3. And when somebody clicks on that, they're able to pop out the words below. So what I'm seeing, and the problem is that I won't be able to use this server component here since it's querying data. I can't use that to, like, I can't use that in a client component. So I somehow need to pass the data. Okay, here we go. So we can take this, and here, this can take children now. And then here, we won't pass in target word, so I'm going to have to mark that as optional. But now I can do our word cell here. And just a second. Syllable box, we need to have our target word removed because that's not going to be used. It is going to be used. So I do still need that. Okay, so that's fine. I just need to add target word as target word. So vowel sound, though, is going to be syllable dot vowel sounds dot value. All right, so far so good. So now I should be able to, and I'll fix that type in an issue or in a minute, whatever. I should now be able to use client here, and nothing should break. We're gonna hope. You refresh, all is well. All right, so this type issue, we just need to make sure it's not a null or undefined value, which means we need to do syllable.vowelsounds, and then also syllable vowel sounds type of that does not equal string. All right, so that fixes our, I shouldn't need that anymore. That fixes all of that. So now, great, what we can do is here, we can check use state is clicked, and we can start with false. And here I want to use payload blocks. Library. I forget what the site is called. Here it is, layout blocks. Perfect. So, accept only essential, explore blocks. And so what I would like to use is in the FAQ section, they have So where it's by default the collapsed versus not collapsed. So we will get our const. So this is going to be use state again. It's going to be open index, and we'll do number or null, and I think number is going to be 0 to start. And then we can do const toggle item equals index number, set open index equals index null index. All right, so yes, we are investigating this code to make this work for us. So we will do then set open index, and then we'll just try it with the open index and see what happens here. So what we can do is not for the div, just for the top part, we'll do on click, and we're going to do toggle item index, which I believe I do receive, so perfect. Let's see what it looks like now. Well, that's not going to do anything yet. So what we'll do here in our chevron down, it looks like they're using Lucid as well. We'll do class name, and then we'll do our open index equals index, otherwise rotate 180. Oh, otherwise nothing. So now, perfect. I click that one. Okay. Keep on working here. So open index equals index. I guess null needs to be the default value. All right, we're going to keep looking here because we have open index. And then here we'll have another div, and we're going to set class name to be open index equals index. If it does, we can do, just to see what it looks like, block, otherwise hidden. Okay. Which way does he do his arrows? Just to make things look better. So when it's closed, it's down. Yep. And then when it's open, it's up. Okay. So now we're going to set some transition here. So we'll figure that out in just a second. And then here we're going to do, let's set all of this. Bam, bam, and bam. And then we'll do transition, transform, transition, or sorry, duration. I think 200 should be plenty. Nope. Let's do half a second, probably too much. Yeah. So I guess there's a reason why he was using 300 there. That feels good. Now my problem is that I would like it all to collapse afterwards. So what do we need to do to make that happen? And now I'm starting to think also about what I'm going to need to do for the overarching container as well to make that collapsible too. So we'll get to that in just a second though. All right, so we can do, what was I doing? Oh yeah, so item answer. I feel like I'm forgetting something here. Key index is already given. Our index is already a number coming from here. Toggle item takes an index. I think it's because the index is the same. So why don't I change this to be, I don't think that actually matters, but we'll see here in a second. Okay, nope. So if I set this to be 0, our default's going to be open, but now I want it to be closed once I set my, oh, what happens with this? Well, so if open index is index, okay, yep, definitely not that. Got that cough. All right, so I'm missing something then. So we've got our key index, on click, toggle item, index. So I think the problem, no, I'm getting the index. So if I log my index, I should get all the numbers. I think I have to do it in inspect in our log. Yeah, so I get all of my numbers just fine. And then let's log my open index here. Yeah, so if I click this, 1, 2, but sets to 0. Let's set this back to null. So I'm clicking on 0, so open index is 0. Don't think this is going to do anything, but no. All right, so I feel like I'm missing something, so I'm just going to use the code as it is. So let's do null there. And then we're going to take a look here. Because when we click, we set our open index. And we saw that working. Open index equals index. So I'm thinking then, yeah, I'm just really confused why it works no problem here. So let's take a look again at his, or whoever did the layoutblocks.dev website. Open index equals index, block otherwise hidden. So maybe we do opacity 0, and we do opacity 100 here. So not quite what I'm looking for. This is better. But the problem is that my top one is not being removed. So I definitely don't need set is clicked though. Open index. Class name. Overflow hidden open index. Open index equals index. So I'm definitely using open index equals index. Toggle item. Anywhere that I click in this div here should toggle the items coming down, but it should also not have anything else open with it. So that's the part that's getting me. So if, let's see what index, so console.log index, and then open index equals open index. Like that. I thought. Well, I broke something. What did I do? Oh, is it that? Weird. All right. So let's try that again. First, let's just... Okay. Can I just log my index then? No. Open index? To build failed. Webpacks. Okay. Plugins. Syllable box. Okay. I guess maybe people would use it like this, but... Oh. Okay, so let's try all that again. And then I think I just need to get rid of this that got imported somehow. Yes, it is. All right. So if I click on this, open index is 0, index is 0, which should... Weird, man. All right, so they have open index equals index, rotate by 180. Got that. Then we've got our onClick toggle item index, which comes from the index of items up here, which we'll just log index just so we get everything. Oops. So now if I click on this, we get zeros, null for some reason, null, 1, null, 2. But if I do this, all right, so I don't think I'm thinking about this right, and I don't think I actually need it, so that doesn't actually close anymore. So if we do null, and then we save, if we refresh, none of them are open by default, and then we can just open these one by one, and that's going to have to do for now, I think. So, but what we can do, and this is going to switch over to dark mode here in a second. Last week I started doing the dark mode styles, but I don't think they're going to look very good as soon as they pop up. So we'll address that as soon as they come in. All right, so here let's just do an underline, then underline offset of like 2 maybe. Offset of 4 then. Eight even. All right, that feels better. I don't actually like that. Let's do border, border, bottom 4. Oh, that's... Let's get rid of this. So border bottom of 1. Perfect, and do just a little bit of a padding bottom 1. Give it a little bit of space there. All right, so that's going to help make it at least a little bit readable. So now we can put all of this inside of another client component, which is going to be our pronunciations. That's going to be a whole other thing here. So I would like to be able to flip our pronunciation boxes as well, which means that we can do a new component, do new TypeScript file, and call this one pronunciation box. And it's going to be use client, and then here we'll take our pronunciations here, which is actually going to be pronunciations map. Okay, so the map is much bigger than that. All right, gotcha. All right, so that means that this here yes, this here is the full pronunciation box. So we're just going to copy this. Nope, we're not going to cut it. We're going to copy it. And then let's paste everything. Nope. Export const pronunci. They're going to make me spell it again. Box equals that, which goes here. We'll return. And then inside syllables, we will have our children. And then we'll take our index, our length, and then our children, if I can spell. And these will all be props. Let's wrap and then do type props equals index, number, length, number, and then finally children, which will be React Node. And then lastly, we need our target word, which will be of type word. Add in target word here. All right. So length. Everything else looks good. We don't need any of this. We don't need the syllable box, of course. And then here, all right, slug. We can do here, we'll do our pronunciation box, which is going to take a children here. It's somewhere here. There it is. All right. So we've got our pronunciation box. We'll have an index of length of array dot length, and then target word, which will be target word. Yep. And then, of course, it needs a key as well, which we'll just do as index again. Unless, do we have... yeah, we'll just use our index. Target word. So that should be taken care of, as well as all the way through our chevron down. All of this here should be good. So I can get rid of this, which means I should get rid of this div. And we should be set. So let's go ahead and save, make sure nothing breaks. Refresh, we look good. That's just a normal error that we've been getting. Okay, so now we can do the same thing here where we're going to get our use state, open index and yeah, whatever. And then we will, on this div here, we'll do on click toggle item index, which is what I'm receiving. And then here we can do class name open index equals index. And then if that's true, it'll be block, otherwise it'll be hidden. Nope, that's wrong. It should be rotate 180, otherwise nothing. So now there, good. Then the children will be in a new div. That'll take a class name, which will be open index equals index, and if so, block, otherwise hidden. There we go. So now those show up, and then these show up, and then each of these will show up. Then they will maintain state while they open and close here. So that makes things easier. I do still want this to be open by default, which will also then have this one open by default. So now if I refresh, both last syllable will be open by default and the first pronunciation. So that looks great. I think, oh no, so I want to change how this works. So first of all, let's just take this class name because it's exactly what I want it to be for this one as well. Save. Bam, 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 bam. Okay. Looks good. Great. So what I do want to change though is I don't want it to be so fast. So this is, I think, something else that I can take from how layoutblocks.dev did it, where there's kind of a sliding motion. But there is a way to do this that I've done before that's kind of a hacky way to do it. Let's see if I still have my other window open. I think I do. So I'm going to steal that and see what happens. Just got to find the right layout. No, where are you? Word page. Okay. So wrong. Okay. Here it is. Okay, so what we're going to do is try and get, we're going to use some JavaScript to get the couple of things first. So let's just get all of our constants in here. So we're going to get our input element, which is going to use ref. HTML input element. It's not input though. It's going to be a div element. And then here it's going to be yes, null. Import use ref. Then we're also we are going to get another use state function going here, which is going to be height and set height with the default of 0. And then we already have our open index, so that's setting is open, but what we're also going to do is set our height if open index does not equal index, or sorry. Yeah, no, that's right. Okay. I may have to flip some things around here, but we have input element, current, offset height plus 20 just to see, or 0. And then we're going to use our set height here instead of our open index. So we'll do set height. Nope. So I think we're going to be using, instead of a class name, we'll use a style attribute where we're going to take our height, which will be of height pixels, our min height, which will also be of height pixels, max height the same, overflow will be hidden, missed something, and then we can do transition, do all, ease in and out. And see what happens here. Nothing. Okay, so I always get a type error for this. I never really know what to do. I'll come back to it. Okay, so what we'll also do is that's kind of going to be the outer div. Then we'll have an inner div, which will be style, and we'll check open index, sorry, opacity. If we have yeah, let's do a new use state, which will be open and set open, and we will set this to be false initially. And so this will then do set open to true, and actually not even true. What we're going to do is set current, current, and this way it toggles back and forth. And then here we're going to check if open is false, so not open. Then we'll do our opacity, open, then transition. We can just do the same thing there, and then transition delay, just to give it a little time so it's not like coming all right out. So 0.1 seconds, just to give it a little bit of breathing room. So let's see what happens. Nothing still. All right, so clearly missing something here. So set open. Okay. So let's try not doing that. Is it open to true just to see what happens? Okay. This is the fun stuff. All right, on click. Where's my on click? There it is. Okay, so what we're going to do is instead of toggle item with an index, we're just going to try this. Where am I? Okay. So I have done this before. I'm not quite sure why it's not working. We have our input element, which by default is null. I think it's because I haven't done it with children here. So I think then the problem is that it's not going to know the size of the children because it's rendering later on. So I have a feeling that this is not going to work like I want it to. But that's okay. So let's just go back to where we were before and try this a different way to animate it to look a little bit less jarring. There's a lot of more undo than I thought. Okay, so I think I can get rid of this, and then I can get rid of these. And we should be back to normal. We are indeed. Great, so now what we'll do is we'll follow this example a little bit more closely. So we can, here in our child class name, we are going to do, that was weird, this. Okay. Then so instead of blocker hidden, what we're going to do is we're going to do a max height of sure, we'll just copy it how it is right now. 1000 pixels, opacity of 100. And then otherwise, it'll be max height of 0, opacity 0. And then within here, overflow hidden, which is kind of what I was doing before. Transition all, duration 300, which is what I had. Ease in and out. So again, all that I had, I just don't think it was recognizing what the elements were. Okay. Oh, wait. Yeah. All right. So I do like that, but I wonder if I was messing stuff up when I was, because I was clicking on the wrong thing. So, I mean, I like this. It works great. But then again, like the max height might become an issue with longer syllable words. But all right. So let's also, if we go to, okay, one syllable is good. So all of that looks great. And I don't hate how that's fading in and out. But again, I want to check one more time. So let's do what I just had pulled up before, where instead of all of these class names here, because I was just doing the wrong thing, we're going to comment all of that out and just do a style. And then, oh, I can copy what I had before. So we can do style and then do an inner div. And then we'll do our ref of input element, and I know none of this is going to make sense right now because none of it really exists. So then we'll do style. Oh, I don't think I need this. Okay. So now we can do all of these here. And use ref is going to be an HTML div element. Yep, okay. And so we've got our input element. So now we will set we'll do set open index equals idx, which that's essentially saying the same thing. But then we will set height to be when not open. It'll take input element dot current dot offset height plus 20. And that's in pixels. So again, we'll figure out that type if we need to, but everything else should be working great. So now if I open this, yes. Ah, that just looks so much better. And this is actually reading the internal height of this element. That's weird. Okay. So we'll figure that out here in a second, but if we do open index here, oh wait, no, 0 is what I want. So hit that there. Yeah, so that's weird, that's an issue. So I think this needs to go back to current, flip current. Looks good, let's refresh. Yep, all right, so yeah, I was just messing with something that I shouldn't have been messing with. All right, so that tells me then that I don't really need this. If I refresh, oh wait, no, I do, because I want to make sure that open index starts. Set open index. So set open, I guess, to true, or is that going to open both of them? Weird. Also weird. Okay, so bring that back to false. Okay, so I guess I don't really need it to be open right away. But now that's backwards, right? Because when it's, yeah. Oh, let's do, instead of open index, we can do open. And then I don't really need index right now. So now when it's open, we're good, good. And then I can do the same thing for all of these as well. Interesting. Oh, I guess it always makes sure that it can fit everything. All right. Oh, no. Okay, so is that something that'll happen, though, with all of that, that... Well, I wonder. So we can do set open to be open index equals index. Still that. And then refresh. Bam. Yeah, so my problem now is that that's going to, like, especially on longer syllable words, like it's only getting the div and not their internal div in there as well. Okay. So, though, does that mean... Let's think about this a little bit. I'll probably move forward as well. But, so let's comment all of this out and bring this back in. And then comment this out. Yeah, and this takes the actual height here. So I wonder, so add everything back in real quick, if height can be set to auto. And so the problem here is like trying to get height to animate, or max height to animate, which it just doesn't. So that's the problem we're running into here. So I think we just need to do it the way that we saw it in layout blocks.dev. I'm glad that they did that. It looks great, and it's better than what I'm trying to do right now. So we will get rid of all of my stuff that I was trying to do. And then this is open index is equal to index. Perfect. So hopefully 1,000 pixels is plenty. Great. So that looks good. And maybe we can do a duration of ½ a second instead, just to make it feel like it's less whipping. All right, so now what we need to do is the same thing on the other side, which is going to be real easy to do. So I should just be able to copy this whole div, paste it here. And is that the only thing that's different? Sure is. All right, so refresh. I have pronunciation 1 open with the first index open. Then I can open pronunciation 2. All is good. I can go to accommodation. There are no words here except for in syllable 2 where we get dog. And then we have all of our synonyms, which don't have any words attached to it. But we can see that if you think we should have this word, contact us. That means we can get a form in here, but then like there's no broken pages essentially. Great. So let's go back to our comfortable. I'm really liking how that's looking. So good, good, good. I'm glad we're making some kind of progress in a way that I actually want to go. This project has not been kind to me, so anything is better than what has been happening before. All right, so that means we don't need the square chevron down here anymore. We now have collapsed pronunciations and syllables. So now let's see if we can get rid of our homonyms. So if we go to find, we can see that these words share a vowel with find, and of course find also does, because it's literally the same word. So then if we want to fix that, we have this handy homonyms relationship field. So we need to go to where our rhymes are being formed. Which is in our word cell. And so here we are querying our rhymes, and we want to make sure that we're not getting our homonyms in here as well. So let's go ahead and log our target word. Excuse me a minute. There we go. All right, so we have our homonyms. So we want to say homonyms, not in homonyms. Homonyms should be an array though, right? I think that's where I might be running into some issues. So let's do this. So we're going to go to our local host and we'll go to our admin. Hopefully we have our auto login. We do. If we go to words, we can create new, and we can do 2, which is going to have a vowel sound of ooh, 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 boot, ooh, boot, 2. Boot. Okay, so we'll have 2, and then we'll have some homonyms for this one. I wonder if I might have to work on that. But yeah, so we have homonyms, and then we can add a new word, which is going to be 2, which will have the homonym of 2. Add pronunciations, add a syllable. This one is also going to be boot. Okay, so yes, there is an issue. So if we go to our words config, this needs to have has many, and set that to true. Now I can add another homonym of 2, which is going to be homonymous with those there, and are going to share a vowel sound of boot. So I can save that and then back out, then make sure that 2 has 2 and 2. Hit save, back out once again, and then here we need to make sure 2 and 2 are homonyms there. So now if we come here to 2, we have these words here, which of course are going to rhyme. They share a vowel sound with 2 because they sound the same. So that means down here we now have a homonym array, and I know we're all learning linguistics right now, gotta love it. All right, so we come to our word cell, and we want to make sure that our homonyms are not in target word dot homonyms. Okay, in maybe? Okay, so that's good. And then if we go to our find, it says no words found, but if I do not in, we still get find. Okay, so that's not really what we're looking for then, but we do have our homonyms, which is coming across as just a string value or as an ID. No, we have a homonym. Oh, that's too far down. Okay, so we do have our homonyms array. So we can do homonyms dot word didn't think so. Oh, here we go. So let's, oops, sorry about that. We can do our constant of homonyms set equal to our target word homonyms.map, and we'll take out our word and of course return our word. Yeah, I thought so. And then I think we can just do word, right? Nope. Okay. Word, word. Yeah, payload is amazing. I do love it a lot. So word is word. Oh, this is a string because I'm taking just the word itself. Okay. String. Man, okay. I promise I know how to do this, but whatever. So word. Okay, great. So not in homonyms. All right, so let's log our target word dot homonyms. Get rid of you. Okay, fine. Get out. Get out, get out, get out, get out. Okay. Okay, so we have our target word homonyms, but I'm not getting anything. So target word, we log that and we get find, which then has an ID for homonyms. So in that case, hold on, so let's go ahead and go back to our words, find our find. Oh, okay, so when I switched it to has many, let's see here. Let's edit. Okay, whatever. And then where else here have yeah, so I think I just got rid of all of the ones that had homonyms, which that's fine. I didn't have a lot. So find and find. So that one's good now. Don't know why I backed out because I could have just find. Okay. So all of that should be good. Words. All right. So I think that's all the homonymous values that we've got. If I refresh this, we should now have an array of homonyms. Now, this should be a function where we can log our homonyms. Refresh and homonyms word. So I think then I can just do homonyms instead. Okay. Homonyms on word. Okay. We got find. So this needs to be as word. What is happening? Word and value are incompatible. Homonyms. So this needs to be a word array. Gross. All right, well, we're getting a value, so that's a perk. All right, so now if we do in though, we won't get any words. All right, so we know we're getting the word, and then that means homonyms here. Yeah, so this should, oh wait. I think I'm overcomplicating this. Not in homonyms. Okay. Is that the problem there? It is. Okay. So, word, we can do type of word not equal to string. And that gives us a word. We got find. So now we need word to not be in our homonyms array here. Find is gone. Yay, finally. All right, so now we can go to our to, and no words are going to be found there. If we go to have, nothing there. Same with have. Perfect. So I'm trying to think of a word that rhymes with, I guess to is probably the easier. So we've got to here, it says nothing rhymes with it, but if I create new and we do boot, then there's no homonyms here. Add vowel sound of boot. Yeah, and so I'm trying to build something a little bit more than just what would be like your normal content management, like a blog. Like this is actually like I want this to be more of an app. So I'm excited to see how I can push Payload to do something like that. So I'm liking this so far. I think this all looks good. So we have excluded our homonymous values. And I probably have a couple more minutes in me before I call it quits. So maybe I work on this header portion real quick where we're going to have a search. So we can do a component and then do, let's see. Yeah, so component, we'll do a new directory for this one. We can do a nav where we're going to do a TSX file that's going to be a nav bar. And then here we're going to export default const, I think. Nav bar. I don't think I'm going to do default. Okay. And then here we can just return a nav, which is going to have one div for a logo, and then another div that's going to have our let's do this. So I would like a div at the top where we're going to do a we can do a link, and I'm not going to have either of these routes done, but we can do one that's login and another one that's going to be sign up. And so here we could do something like, I want to save the words that I use often in my account. So then we can have ways to do that. So we'll see what that ends up doing. So then this is going to be one div that goes across the top, And then we're going to have another div that's going to be below it. So we'll do class name. We shouldn't actually need to do anything here. So let's wait for that. And then we'll do div. Oh, and let's actually do a third thing here because we'll want to do our search icon. So we'll do another link, which is going to not be a word, but it will be search. And we're going to import. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I have, well, I just had a Tailwind one come out today, but I had another payload one come out yesterday on custom components. I had to do a lot of research on those. And I know people have been talking about how sparse, I guess, the docs are, which is why I'm making the videos to make it easier to navigate, not just for me and like me learning, but it makes it easier for others to learn it as well. But I did just a script the other day for a video that's going to walk through like how I'm setting up this login and sign up 2 links here. Like I actually made a full login flow for a non-user component, or sorry, non-user collection. So a customer collection essentially. So I'm really excited to get to work on like recording that video, but it's going to be a long one. So we'll see how quickly I can get that one out. I'm trying to stick to my normal weekly cadence. So I've got a couple of videos currently being worked on. I want to make sure that I don't have my console log going anymore. Words, homonyms. Doesn't look like I do. All right, so back to the nav bar. Oh, yeah, so I want to get a do you not have a magnifying glass? All right, so let's do lucid. All right, it's probably just search, yeah. Search. Copy JSX. Search. There we go. And then here, I don't really know what icons I would, or what. I don't think I actually need anything there. So, because I'm not going to really do a blog or anything like that for this but eventually we might. So let's go ahead and just do link. We can do like an href equals about, and then we can do short blog. I really don't see me ever using this, so why don't we just not even bother? And let's just move this all down here and get rid of this nav. And now we can go to our layout. And then at the top of our body, we'll do our nav bar. I don't like that this takes in this full import path here. I guess it's, there we go. There's always a cleaner way to put that in there. All right, so we have our nav bar here. We can refresh, we see it there. So now in this div, which we don't actually need here, yeah, right. We'll do flex. And then we'll do, yes, item center for sure. Not justify center though, but we'll do around, I think. Nope, between. And then we can do something like a padding of 4. There we go. And then here we also need to do class name, flex item center, and then probably a gap of 4. Maybe even 8. Yeah, that feels better. Yeah, I haven't messed with AI or LLMs a whole lot, so that's not really my strong suit. Happy to look into it, but I don't think that's going to be something that I end up doing a whole lot of. So let's do gap of 4 because I need to do in each of these class name of padding 4, padding 2. Okay, so then login, we can do maybe just like a BG of, what am I using violet or purple? Probably violet. 950 with text of violet 50. And then here we'll just do text of violet 950, and then we can do a border violet 950. Okay, that looks good. And then we can do fill violet 950. Let's make sure that this actually works. Nope, because it's not on the SVG. Let's do this down here, class name. Oh, shoot. Stroke. There we go. All right, so now we can do just a little bit of a rounded look here. So we'll do rounded medium. Perfect. So now we've got a login, a sign up, and the search. So none of these do anything yet, but they will soon. So we'll be able to do our search plugin to do this. So that'll make things way easier. Let's also do something like a border bottom, and then do violet. Oh, border violet 950. Nothing? There it is. Okay. Perfect. And then we can do probably sticky. And then Z50. Not that anything is going to. Anyway, so let's do px2 py1 here. Give it a little bit more space. There we go. We don't have a logo yet, but this looks good. We'll be able to do a login, a sign up, and a search eventually. So that's going to take some time. I don't think there is an AI plugin for PayloadCMS. I'm sure someone is actually, wait, no, somebody did for the lexical. They have a lexical feature that does AI generation. So you might want to look into that. That's in the, if you're a part of the Discord community, that's where you're going to find all that stuff. All right, so we've got our nav. We've got a good amount of stuff done today. So let's do compromise. Yep. All right. So I'm cool with this. And then obviously none of these words are going to lead to anything, but we do have definitions there. All right. So let's change this also to be our homepage. Yeah, so we'll link href will be to the home page. So you can click on that, brings it to words. Excuse me. Yeah, I'm starting to lose my voice a little bit. The allergies are freaking crazy right now. So not loving this right now. All right, but let's do one thing on the home page and then we will for sure call it quits. Because the home page itself is not really going to need anything. So if we go to our front end, we've got our page here. So what we're going to do is just, let's do a main. Then we'll have search. And then I think we'll actually use client for this page as well. Because in here we're going to have an input. We'll do div with an input, which will have type text, name, search, and then actually, so this will be another div. And we'll have a link that's going to be a roll of button. And then this is going to not have a default value, but it will have a placeholder search. In here, we're going to do label HTML4 search. And then we'll do class name, flex, items, center, gep. This whole div is going to be class name, not at all what I wanted. Flex, yes, but flex call with full. And then this link is going to be search. We can do class name, and then have this be, we'll do, let's just see what we get. Okay. Text, violet 50, padding 4, too much, padding 2, py 1. And then again, do our rounded medium. Okay, class name, border purple 950, padding 4, probably too much again. Yep, padding 2, py 1. Go rounded medium. Do width full. Okay, so max width, what, 7XL? Sure. Don't think that actually matters, but width full. Okay, so that's not doing what I wanted to do. That's okay. All right, so we have a search bar, and with all of this, what I'm going to do, class name, I have to remember how to do what I want to do here. So this window. I'm looking at back one of my recent code because I like how I did the form. I'm just having a brain fart on how I did it. So no. Don't think that's actually it. Here we go. So this will need to go here on the main. Then here we'll do flex gap 8, flex call, then h full. Justify center, items center. Okay. Close. There we go. Okay, so we don't want gap 8 for sure. We want probably like gap 4. Yep, search. Let's do text emerald, not emerald, violet 950. And let's do on our HTML. Oh, I'm already doing this. Just make sure. Yeah, that looks better anyway. All right, and then so how tall is this element? 67 pixels, which is 67 divided by 16, about 4 rem. So let's go to our home page. This should be -4 rem. Oh, need to do a calc first. Get a little bit closer to center, which that did not do it. Eight rem. There we go. So liking that. And so now if we do our search, we can do probably class name. Let's do margin bottom of a rem, half a rem. This doesn't actually need to be shown. Okay, so check this out. Let's go look at another project that I've done. All right, still good. Form. Let's do labels, what I'm looking for. Okay, probably the wrong thing. I'm just looking for a way to hide my label. Oh yeah. So it's going to be a class name called visually hidden. So let's do visually hidden, but it still is going to be available to screen readers, which is what actually matters to me. So let's go to our styles dot. There we go. So visually hidden. Now what we're going to do is take what's in this input and apply it to the link. So I believe we can just take, how did we do this as well? This window, okay. So there's a couple things we want to do. We're already using use client. We're going to enable our enter to be used. So if key equals enter, thank you autocorrect. Router push, not what I'm looking for. I think it's just word. Yep, just word. And then we'll do search link, which we need to grab. But first we also need to get use const router equals use router, which did not import for some reason. And that's going to be the wrong one. I need next navigation. All right, so for search link, what we're going to do, and yes, I could use this as a form, but that's the fun in that. All right, so we're going to use state, and we're going to get our search, and instead of word link, it should be search word. Okay, then our default value is going to be that. Then what we're going to do is handle our change, because this is going to be a change event. Let's go ahead and import React. And then we're going to prevent default, and then set search word. I don't think I need to do to lowercase, but just in case. Excuse me. Perfect. Okay. So in this, we'll also do, can I disable this? I can with ARIA disabled, but we can do search word. And then we can do, if disabled, we'll do BG violet, like 30. There we go. And then we can do ARIA disabled, cursor not allowed. Otherwise, we can have cursor pointer, because it'll be like a button. Okay. We are going to also, in our input, do autocomplete off. We can also do an autofocus. It's true. Then on change, we can handle change. And then on key down, we can handle our enter event. So now, this should not be disabled anymore, but it is. Let me inspect. Input. Do I need to put a value here? Let's see something here. So let's do below this whole div, we'll do another div that only shows up if search word, search for words that share vowel sounds with search word to lowercase. All right, so, oh, what's going on? On key down. Oh, okay. So our link needs to change. href, so search will be our search word to lowercase, just like everything else. We have our value in there. Handle change. All right, on key down, what's happening here? So the problem though is if I do comfortable, I can search. Oh wait, word. So it's not getting search word, it seems. Oh, because it's event. And then here we're actually going to push to search, which again does not exist yet. There we go. Okay, I don't know why I put this here. Let's actually put this below. Nope. So here's where we do that. We can do... See, this is like I can just do this kind of stuff all day, just like finagling different things. But I do need to wrap this up. So what we're going to do, though, is just take this span and put it here and close out the span here, if I were to do it correctly. There we go. Comfortable. If I could search comfortable there, great, but I don't have a search yet. And this is disabled. Ooh. So I need to also do, since it's not actually a button, aria disabled, pointer events none. So now nothing should happen if I click on it. Great. Until I search. So I could, instead of this search here, this could just bring me to we could just go straight to the word for these, which would be nice. And then this would bring me back to the search, in which case we'd want home to also be in our nav bar. So we can do that by just adding home. And then maybe we do there we go. We got our little home button. Brings us back here. And we can push to words. We don't have that word. That's okay. We do have comfortable. All right, so our sticky page didn't work. Oh, what is this? On key down. Oh, I thought hold on. React keyboard event. HTML input element. There we go. All right, so I fixed that. We got our search. I could also put the search bar up here, but that's starting to get a little messy. Let's get our sticky working real quick in our nav bar. So we've got our nav. What do we need to do to make that happen? There we go. Perfect. All right, so I just need to add top 0 to it. That's what I thought. But then we'll also want to add a background, which we can do. Can I do a blur? Yeah. All right, so large is probably a little much, and we probably want to add a little bit of a color here as well. Don't think I can add colors to the backdrop, but that's okay. Let's do, instead, we'll do a BG color of not 950, but maybe 300 divided by 30. Oh, violet. There we go. Oops. So that doesn't really work for our sign up here. So maybe we do 50. Even then. So maybe 200. Let's do 100 with 60. Yeah, that looks a little bit sharper. And I can still see a bit of the blur, which looks good to me. Cool. So we now have our sticky. We've got a search. We will add our search functionality. We will eventually have a login and a sign up and all that. But we've done a lot of good stuff today. I'm feeling pretty good about where we landed. So I think, oh, I need to add search. So we're going to add the search. We'll add the SEO plugin where we can add metadata. We will come back and do the authentication. That way we can sign up, and then in this we can do things like add a way to add favorite words to account. So I can already tell that this is going to take a long time to do. Not that it's going to be extremely difficult. It'll just be pretty tedious to get done. So feeling good about where we are. Adding search. Really, this could end after search, SEO, and metadata is all in place, and then we could just populate a bunch of words. But I think there's more we could do, because we also would like to do a contact form for new words, which means, and we can do this real quick because it's not going to be hard. And now we are starting to get into a different situation. So let's take our login and sign up and do what I was doing before, put them in this div along the top. We'll do flex call. We have class name, flex, justify end, gap 2, and then honestly, I don't think I need anything here. Oh, wait, and then I need to do the same thing here. There we go. So this has its own I I even want it smaller, but we'll worry about that later. Because then I can do border, bottom, violet, 950 divided by 30. Border B. Padding, bottom 1, 2, 4. Yep, so it is 4. All right, and then here we've got our logo, and then we'll have home, search, and contact. Contact. Okay, justify. I knew I would get caught up in one other thing. All right, so we have flex item center. Then we need this to be class name, flex item center gap 4. Perfect. And then we can do probably a padding top of 4 to get a little bit more separation there. And honestly, this needs to be padding 2. Nope, padding x2. Nope, px4 py2. And then here we can then do pb2. And then we can do pt2. And so that's gonna look okay. Got our border here. And I don't think I need it. So we'll just do this. Maybe we do. Give it a little bit of separation. All right, so I think this is a good place to stop. We kind of know where we're going to go now. We've got our search coming up. We got our SEO plugin coming up, so we can do SEO and form. Adding new words and general questions. And then we'll come back and do authentication and authorization. So thanks for watching. This was a lot of fun. We actually got good work done. I feel really good about where we're headed with this project. As we add more words, we won't add a ton more because we're on a development database right now. So eventually we will go into a more robust production type environment. But for now, that's kind of where we're going to end up. I'm just on a local MongoDB. So I'm not too worried about getting too many words into place right now. I think I have enough. So I think what's really going to add the functionality to this is going to be the search. So I'm really excited to dive into the search plugin a little bit more, and then the SEO plugin. We already have videos out for that. So feel free to check those out, but I don't think that's going to be a big issue. And then the contact form, I am interested in going into a little bit more depth with that one. Now that I am using Tailwind with this project, I think we'll have a better setup process than I did in my last project. So I'll be back on here to do this likely just next Wednesday. Right now, I want you to see what this looks like in dark mode. So yeah, we're gonna fix dark mode too. Let me drop that in here. To do fix. I actually really like the nav like this. But anyway, so we will fix that too. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to getting more into this. But yeah, so I'm going to be streaming one night a week right now until I can kind of get caught up with some video edits that I'm working on. So ultimately, make sure you're subscribed to my channel. If you liked this, share it, like it, All of your support helps so much. I'm very grateful for it and thankful for it. It allows me to do this, to make the tutorials that I've been making for both Tailwind and PayloadCMS. So your support means so much to me. Yep, so I've got a new video dropping tomorrow. That's just a cut up live stream, so feel free to watch that one. They're not tutorials, do not follow them step by step, but they are a lot of fun watching me struggle through. They're not fun to rewatch and edit though. So I hope you guys enjoy that one. And then I have another one on Saturday, and the next Tuesday we've got our field components tutorial for Payload coming out. I'm very excited for that one. Again, lots of research went into these custom component videos, so really hope you enjoy those and learn a lot from them. And then after that, I think it's advanced admin configurations. So lots of good, exciting stuff coming up. Authentication is coming up at the end of April. So 2 great videos slated, ready to go. Just need to record them and get them out. And they're going to be really good. So at least I hope so. Either way, again, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.